Adam, were you in those meetings with the President today?
Yes, I was as part of a delegation of University of South Africa, which represents all the Vice-Chancellors.
Give us some insight into those discussions. All we saw eventually was the President coming out and announcing that there would be a 0% fee increment.
Yes, I mean, the President essentially presided over a meeting with representatives from various student bodies and various student structures, the Vice-Chancellors, chairs of council, a number of cabinet ministers and a number of officials. The discussions were cordial. They really started off with students, the President voicing, giving us a broad introduction to the issues and then asking the students to raise their concerns, which they did. University of South Africa and the Vice-Chancellors effectively responded to some of the student concerns and then effectively indicated that we supported the student demand for a 0% increase and that we were hoping that government would assist us in helping us to do so. And then we went through a whole series of discussions for the next couple of hours to effectively iron out. The 0% increase was quickly agreed. We have agreed that essentially government will do that and the universities will contribute some to try and effect the 0% increase. For 2016, from 2017 onwards, we've put together, there's already a presidential task team and its mandate would be expanded to look at how to fund our education system, bearing in mind subsidies, bearing in mind fees, bearing in mind the principle of our cost drivers and trying to effectively create some relief for students in distress in the system.
Let's look specifically at Wits University. Can you handle a 0% fee increase next year? You said there were some deliberations. Will you be receiving any support in lieu of that increase in fees?
That's what government, and that's why government has been really made this possible. Government has come to the party to say that it would assist the universities to do so. Obviously, Wits University would make its own contribution, but essentially government would partner each of the universities to enable them to meet that obligation. And it is precisely the government support in this regard that has made it feasible in this context.
Okay, so there will be no decrease in the quality of education as a result of this. What about exams? Are you feeling confident that now things can get back on track the academic year, or are you a bit dismayed seeing that violence broke out even after that announcement by the President?
I'm particularly distressed that there was violence. I think it is I'm really worried about it. I'm hope that doesn't derail the resumption of academic program. I think it would be fantastic if we can get the academic program back on track and exams. I do not want on my students and any other student to lose this academic year. It's absolutely fundamental for them to get their degrees and move on. And so I would love to see a situation where the academic program is resumed. I'm hoping that the response by the President around the zero fee increase, we've committed as Vice-Chancellors to reorganize the academic and examination program. And I think we need to move as quickly as we can in this regard.
You said that you are concerned, and I guess I'd like to talk to you as a political commentator. You've looked at the history of this country. Will we see the storm subside, or do you believe that this could open up new storms? Because we do have so many conflicting demands. What about basic education? What about housing? Things like that. Where do you see it going from here?
I do think that we have some incredible challenges, particularly in a context where the economy is not doing well. And so you don't have the latitude that you have. But I also think that we have possibilities to spend better. We have possibilities to reprioritize. We have possibilities that can clearly, if we get higher education right, it could have an enormous impact on the growth drivers of the economy. The question is, how do we do this all simultaneously? And it is a challenge. There's no doubt. But it's not an impossible challenge. Other societies have done it, and we've done it at various moments, and I think we could learn and really learn to do it here. I mean, as we've seen, we've got a serious problem of corruption. We've had some wasteful expenditure. If we can just get some of those expenditures correct, we would be in a fantastically good position to address some of the concerns around higher education and in some of the other areas you spoke about.
Finally, has this caused some soul searching? There's been criticism of government, of universities as well, of university leadership, a lot of issues about a lack of transformation, about outsourcing. I'm not saying that these are specific to Wits, but is Wits looking at some of the other issues?
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right. It requires soul searching on all our parts, government, the student leadership, definitely university management. If you asked me a week ago, was it possible to achieve a 0% increase in 2016, I would have said no. What you've effectively seen is the students have done in 7 or 8 days what we haven't been able to get onto the seriously onto the platform for the last 5 to 10 years. I mean, it's a humbling experience. We've had to learn a lot, and clearly we need to think through what the implications of this are. But I think all of us need to think through. And what I think we all need to learn is to address more imaginatively the structural inequalities in our system.
All right, thank you very much for your time this evening. That was Vice-Chancellor of Wits University, Habib, saying that Vice-Chancellors themselves